What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. This is break number 1221, 1221 BD. This is a 2026 Donruss Baseball Hobby Case. 12 boxes in the break to pick your team break. Ritaro Sasaki has a spot with the Stanford Cardinals spot. That has been in the break. And then Josh Gibson for the Homestead goes to the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's our go. Here we go. Let's get in it. There's our case. A lot of cards. Hopefully going to be a nice fun break. What's up, Super Strike? How are ya? Seller stuff, good luck to you too. Let's go, baby. Woo! 12 boxes of Donruss baseball. All right. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. All cards get shipped. All teams have already been sold. We pre-sell our breaks, Driver King. If you want to get in a break like this, we'll have another break of this product on Thursday afternoon. You're welcome, my friend. The spots are already in the store for Thursday's breaks. It is auction based and they spots end an hour before the break. Brand new product. So we'll take a little extra time here in this first box. We don't sell them by the team, by a certain amount, my friend. It's auction based. You can go put your high bid in now if you want, and that's how it works. We don't sell the teams for certain prices. All right, box number 1. Here we go. That is Rhett Lauder on the foil. Kevin Youkilis on the chrome. Franklin Arias on the optic chrome. Nick Kurtz on the bomb squad. Michael Young on the red foil. Red foil is numbered 133 out of 250. 133 out of 250. Our first hit is a Adam Dunn for the Cincinnati Reds on the game used. Is it game used? I don't know. 12 out of 49. This is guaranteed. Includes game worn and used material. So that is a game-used bat of Adam Dunn for the Cincinnati Reds. Game-used, 12 out of 49. David Ortiz on the chrome. Darryl Strawberry on the optic silver chrome. That is a Donruss Elite of Nick Kurtz, 2 out of 25. 2 out of 25. Andrew Painter on the foil. Robin Yount on the chrome. Ethan Petrie, chrome. Diamond Marvels of Nolan Ryan going to the Texas Rangers. Trevor Hoffman. Trevor Hoffman on the Sunburst foil. There's our first auto of the break. That's Jarlin Susana going to Washington. Jarlin Susana on the Optichrome auto. Sammy Sosa on the Optic. Marcus Phillips. Bobby Witt Jr. on the Bomb Squad. Ethan Holiday on the foil. Dick Allen on the Optic. Bobby Witt Jr. on the purple Optichrome. That is 25 out of 49. 25 out of 49. Yeah, nice start out for Oakland to 40 to 25. Absolutely. Elite Series, Jacob Mizorowski. This one's not numbered. Barry Larkin on the foil. Optichrome, Nick Kurtz and Tommy White for Oakland. Unleashed of Dylan Cruz. Roberto Alomar on the foil. Dave Winfield on the chrome. Arjun Namala chrome. That's Elite Series Mike Piazza for the Mets. Foil, excuse me. We got Trevor Hoffman on the red foil. That is 77 out of 250 going to San Diego. That is Prospect Jersey Kings for the White Sox. That is Braden Montgomery. Braden Montgomery for the White Sox on the Jersey King. That one is not numbered. Colt Keith and Dick Allen for the Cubs. Dick Allen for the Cubs on the silver Optichrome. We got for the Oakland A's Bomb Squad. That is Jose Canseco, 43 out of 99. Oh, sorry, 1 in 99. 43 of 199. That is Luis Hernandez on the foil. Madison Baumgartner, Charles Davalan. Unleashed of Paul Skeens. Last stack of the first box. There's Leo DeVries for the A's on the rated prospect Sunburst. Colt Keith on the orange Optichrome. That is 88 out of 199. Brendan Summerhill on the lime green, 36 of 149. Crunch time. There's Chase DeLauder for Cleveland. Christian Campbell on the foil. Brendan Sproat for the Mets. There's Gage Jump for Oakland. Josh Hamilton on the green foil bomb squad. Green foils are not numbered. Jace Lavalette on the blue foil. That is numbered. That is 60 out of 149. Ken Griffey Jr. There's Xavier Nayans on the color match orange for Houston, 82 of 199. That is James Wood on the Diamond Marvels, and that one is not numbered. And that is box number 1. Okay. Some nice looking cards. These are some nice looking cards for being not licensed. These are really nice. I think Donruss did a really good job this year. $199. There we go. Box number 1 in the books. Well, thank you, Super Strike. I appreciate you very much for being here. Driver King, you go to Breaks and Takes 2 on eBay, my friend. You go to our store. And in our store is all of our breaks are listed. If you type in Donruss Baseball in our store, it should bring up our next break, which, like I said, will be on Thursday, bud. Yeah, of course, my friend, of course. Been doing a lot of top products lately, guys, so I keep forgetting that Panini puts stuff, their wrappers backwards. This is break number 1221 BD. So in the search bar, type in break number. Let's see, 212223. So type in break number 1225. B as in boy, D as in dog, and it should bring up that break, and it'll bring up a whole listing of all the spots, my friend. If you can't find it, send me a message on the Breaks and Takes 2 email, message board, and I will send you the link. All right, we got a sunburst of Aiden Miller for the Phillies. Rhett Lauder on the chrome. That is a pink laser chrome of Jacob Mizorowski. 3 out of 79. 3 of 79. Ken Griffey Jr. on the Diamond Marvels. Foil of Luke Keyshaw for the Twins. There's a Coming Attractions. That is Kellen Lindsay. Kellen Lindsay on the Coming Attractions. These are a short print. This one's going to the Dodgers. Hideki Matsui on the optic. Cole Emerson. There's Ethan Conrad for the Cubs. That's on the red foil, 89 of 250. Cade Horton for the Cubbies. That is Justin Crawford for the Phillies. That's a red Optichrome, 35 of 99. Cam Smith on the Bomb Squad. Josh Gibson, like listed on the front, that's going to the Pittsburgh Pirates on the Homestead. Mike Schmidt on the Sunburst. There's our next autos, guys, and that is Paul Skeens. Signature Series auto for Pittsburgh. Paul Skeens on the auto. Very nice. Very nice auto. Jackson Churio, Seth Hernandez for Pittsburgh. That is David Ortiz on the Elite Series foil, not numbered. That is Charles Davalan on the foil for the Dodgers. Trevor Hoffman. There's David Wright for the Mets. That is 161 out of 199. Andrew Painter on the Unleashed. Mariano Rivera on the foil for the Yankees. Roger Clemens. Zaire Hope. Crunch Time. That is Marcelo Mayer for the Red Sox. Michael Young for Texas on the foil. Christian Campbell. There's Enrique Bradfield Jr. for Baltimore. Jacob Wilson for Oakland Unleashed. Oh man, that sucks, sellers. Hideki Matsui for the Yankees on the blue foil. That's 145 out of 149. Our first hit is Gavin Killen for the Giants. Gavin Killen for the Giants on the Prospect Jersey Kings. Prospect Jersey Kings. Barry Larkin. There's Tatsuya Imai on the Optichrome silver. And there is a nice one. Gold Bomb Squad going to Kansas City. Bobby Witt Jr., 10 out of 10. Nice. Nice hit for Kansas City. 10 out of 10, Bobby Witt Jr. There's Arjun Nomala for Toronto on the foil. Mike Piazza for the Mets, 171 out of 199. A.J. Russell, crunch time of Bubba Chandler. That is green foil of Cal Ripken Jr. That is 165 out of 199. Jonathan on the Optichrome silver. That is JoJo Parker on the Cracked Ice Prospect. That is numbered 2 out of 25 for Toronto. 2 out of 25. And that is Bryce Eldridge on the Crunch Time Green Sunburst. Again, these are not numbered. Very nice cards. That's Tony Perez on the foil Sunburst. Cobb Hightower for the Baltimore Orioles. That is a blue signature series auto. Blue signature series. That one is numbered 61 of 75. 61 of 75 on the auto. Satchel Paige, Cam Caminetti. There's Prince Fielder on the Bomb Squad. Carson Bench for the Mets, rated prospect, 56 of 149. Roberto Alomar, Cam Canarella for the Miami Marlins. There's Johnny Bench. And that is box number 2. Box number 3. Are you talking about the Optic Football Super Strike? Yeah, I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you for letting people know. Appreciate it very much. Alright, box number 3. Here we go. Frank Chance. That's, believe the Cubs. I can't remember. There's Jefferson Rojas on the first auto. That's a purple auto. Jefferson Rojas going to the Cubs, I believe. 71 of 99. 71 of 99. Rhett Lauder. There's Brendan Summerhill. Trey Savage Unleashed. There's Christian Campbell. That is a red border. 63 out of 250. And our acetates. Billy Carlson. These are 1 per case. That's going to the White Sox. Supposed to be 1 per case on these acetate cards. Very nice hit for the White Sox. Dylan Cruz on the Optichrome. Cam Caminiti on the pink. That is 50 out of 79. Bryce Eldridge for the Giants. Rookie green sunburst. There's Mike Piazza on the foil. That is Trey Snyder on the autograph. Trey Snyder, 71 of 75 for the New York Mets. Trey Snyder for the Mets. And on the Diamond Kings, we got Colt Emerson for Seattle. Colt Emerson for Seattle on the Diamond Kings, not numbered. Barry Larkin. There's JoJo Parker. There's Kellen Lindsey for the Dodgers. That is 199 of 250. Christian Campbell. There's Blake Mitchell for Kansas City, rated prospect. Roman Anthony on the bomb squad. Foil of Elston Howard going to the Yankees. Jesus, how many of those are you going to put in one pack? Eli Willits, Roberto Alomar. There's Jacob Wilson. There's Roberto Alomar on the foil, 78 out of 149. There's our patch. That is Roberto Alomar. Roberto Alomar on the patch. Not numbered. That is number for going to the Toronto Blue Jays. Excuse me. Satchel Paige. Jimmy Fox. That is a Diamond Marvel of Jonah Tong. 90 out of 199. 90 of 199 going to the Mets. Eduardo Tate for the Twins on the foil. Song Song. Jamie Arnold. Crunch time, there is Trey Savage. Kellen Culpepper on the Sunburst. Tomoyuki Sugano. There's Aaron Judge on the pink lasers. That is numbered 16 out of 79. Paul Skeens on the foil Elite Series. Chandler Simpson on the foil. Randy Johnson. There's Zaire Hope. Jackson Churio on the Diamond Marvels. That's a green rated rookie of Braden Montgomery, excuse me, for the White Sox. 171 out of 199. Jesus. Pudge Rodriguez. There's Tyler Bremner for the Angels. That is 28 out of 49. Bryce Eldridge Unleashed. Kevin Youkilis for the Red Sox Sunburst. There's Luke Stevenson. Looks like we got an extra auto in this box. That's nice. Luke Stevenson for Seattle on the auto. That is not numbered on the Optichrome auto. Yes, I know. Dude, they're driving me nuts already. They're driving me nuts already. These sorters or separators are just so people can't tell if there's a freaking patch or something in the pack. Jackson Churio. There's Coaching Shane for the Dodgers on the foil. Bryce Eldridge for the Giants. Roman Anthony, that's a nice one. Orange, 2 of 199 for Boston. Aaron Judge on the Bomb Squad, not numbered. That is box number 3. Box number 4. How about we test something, guys? Let's do them pack by pack. Let's see if it can go faster doing pack by pack. Let's see what we get here. Here we go. Cade Horton foil. There's Jimmy Crooks, Charlie Condon, Roman Anthony on the Diamond Marvel. Jace Lavolette for Cleveland on the foil. David Wright. There's Elston Howard for the Yankees. That's 1 out of 149. Miguel Cabrera, Bomb Squad. There's Ozzie Smith on the Sunburst. Steele Hall is our chrome auto for the Cincinnati Reds. Steele Hall. Roman Anthony on the chrome, or on the optic. Jonathan Santucci, Matt Shaw. Aiden Miller for the Phillies on the rated prospect red. 214 out of 250. Johnny Bench. That's Spencer Jones for the Yankees on the rated prospect. That is 50 out of 79. We got Kazuma Okamoto for the Toronto Blue Jays, I believe. Yep, Toronto Blue Jays. I pulled his redemption out of Topps Chrome Black. Sick freaking card. Sick card. Couldn't believe it, man. That was awesome. There's Hideki Matsui on the foil. Jimmy Fox, Carson Benj. That is Bubba Chandler on the Sunburst Green Unleashed. Come here, you. That's Bo Jackson, purple. Purple foil, 22 out of 99. Deion Sanders. Don Mattingly, 49 out of 99. There's Cade Horton. There's Liam Doyle for St. Louis on the green foil, 109 out of 199. Mike Piazza. There's Jace Lavolette going to Cleveland. Jonah Tong on the crunch time. Roger Clemens. That is James Tibbs going to the Dodgers on the rated prospect auto. James Tibbs for the Dodgers. That is numbered 49 out of 49. 49 of 49. And we have another coming attraction. This one is JoJo Parker for the Toronto Blue Jays. JoJo Parker. Darryl Strawberry, Vance Honeycutt. Ricky Henderson on the green, 184 out of 199. And that's another acetate. So whoever said they were one per case, I don't know if they know. James Tibbs for the Dodgers on the acetate. Nick Kurtz on the chrome refractor. That's black. That's a black Pandora of Seaver King. Black Pandora Seaver King for the Washington Nationals. That is not numbered on the black Pandoras. Very nice. Nick Kurtz on the Elite Series, not numbered, foil. Nope, that's the green. That's why it's different. I'm like, why does this one look different? It's the unnumbered green. Cam Canarella for Miami. That is 68 of 250. Heston Kjerstad, Andrew Painter. James Wood on the bomb squad. Jackson Churio, Sunburst. Rated Prospect Auto, that's Blake Mitchell for Kansas City. Blake Mitchell for Kansas City. This one's not numbered. Kazuma Okamoto. Ava Arquette. There's Jacob Mizorowski. Last pack, box number 4. There's Aaron Judge, blue, 93 of 149. Another acetate, Travis Bazzana, Cleveland, rated prospect. That's Sammy Sosa. That is Josue De Paula on the gold. 1 of 10. 1 of 10 gold. And then we have a Diamond Marvels green of Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, Diamond Marvels green. Nice hit for the Dodgers, Josue De Paula. Box number 5. Alex Ladosi for the Atlanta Braves. Paul Skeens on the optic. Leo DeVries. Travis Bazzana unleashed. Cameron Schlittler. That's Cam Canarella for the Miami Marlins. 11 out of 99. Aiden Miller on the Prospect Jersey King. Prospect Jersey King, Aiden Miller for the Phillies. Miguel Cabrera, Kevin Youkilis. Crunch Time Foil, that is 153 of 199, Jonah Tong. Jackson Churio on the foil. Diamond King, Seth Hernandez for Pittsburgh. That is Jacob Mizorowski, Tate Susini. Very nice Diamond King. Here's Mitch Voigt for the Mets. 149 out of 199. Peyton Tolley for the Red Sox. There's Alex Ladosi. George Brett on the Elite. That is Will the Thrill Clark on the Sunburst. Prospect Auto going to the Giants. Gavin Killen. Gavin Killen, this one is not numbered. Jim Thome. Wehawa Aloy. There is Brandon Sproat. Going to Milwaukee with that because he has been traded. He was traded from the Mets. There's Pie Trainer going to the Pittsburgh Pirates. 63 of 149. Mike Piazza, Chrome, Optichrome for the Mets. Green Optichrome, Justin Crawford for the Phillies. 70 of 149. That is Jacob Mizorowski on the green Crunch Time. Not numbered. There's Roger Clemens, Chrome. Carlton Fisk, Caleb Bonmer. Travis Bazana, that is 20 out of 99. 20 out of 99 on the Unleashed Red. Very nice. Here's Xavier Nayans for Houston. Pat Murphy. Roberto Alomar, that's on the green. Optichrome 145 out of 149. There's Nolan Ryan going to Texas. Our next auto is a nice one for Houston. That is Cam Smith on the Signature Series auto. That is numbered 1 out of 99. 1 of 99. Christian Moore for the Angels. Kalen Culpepper. There's Robinson Cano for the Elite Series for the Yankees. Purple, Josue De Paula, 61 out of 149 for the Dodgers. Chase DeLauder for Cleveland. Johnny Farmello for Seattle, 107 out of 199. Here's Jose Canseco. Trevor Hoffman for San Diego on the foil. Vlad Guerrero Sr. for the Angels. Tyson Witherspoon, Red Sox. Sammy Sosa, Bomb Squad. Green foil. And our last pack of box number 5. That is Ethan Holiday. Ethan Holiday on the Sunburst. Chipper Jones. Dick Allen. That is 158 out of 199. Nick Kurtz on the Diamond Marvels. Box number 6. There's Josh Gibson going to the Pittsburgh Pirates on the Sunburst. Our first auto is a nice one for the Mets. That is Colin Hawk. Colin Hawk, 8 out of 99. 8 of 99. And then greetings from Seattle. On the postcard short prints, Ken Griffey Jr. for Seattle. Mariano Rivera. There's Merrick Houston. Yeah, that is pretty dope. Those postcards are pretty cool. I think they started them last year, and they really look nice this year. Deion Sanders for Cincinnati. That is 105 out of 199. Tate Susene for the Atlanta Braves on the acetate. Tate Susene. Maybe it was supposed to be 1 per box on average, not 1 per case. Maybe the guy was wrong. Matt Shaw on the chrome refractor. Optichrome silver. Billy Carlson orange, 100 out of 199. Jonah Tong on the green crunch time. Mariano Rivera. There's Luke Keyshaw. That is Wandy Asim. Can't know. I have a list. Cleveland. Travis Bazana Unleashed. Not sure if that. I think is the Mets right there, guys. That one I think is the Mets. My sorting team has all the teams and all the players. Albert Pujols, that's blue, 9 out of 149. Our first patch is Peyton Tolley. Peyton Tolley on the Jersey Kings. Jersey Kings for the Red Sox. This is not from any specific game or event. Yogi Berra, Dwight Gooden. That is a crunch time of Roman Anthony, 35 of 199. That is Yadi Molina for St. Louis on the foil. Jason Varitek, Jarlin Susana for Washington. Jose Canseco, Bomb Squad. Purple, that is Cam Canarella for Miami. 131 out of 149. Yadi Molina, Caden Bodine for Baltimore on the silver Optichrome. Nick Kurtz on the Diamond Marvels. That's Jason Varitek. Chase Jung. Liam Doyle on the rated prospect for St. Louis. And that is a green foil of Nick Kurtz on the Bomb Squad. Here's Tony Lazzeri for the Yankees. Tony Lazzeri, 45 of 99. That's Bo Jackson. Hideki Matsui for the Yankees, 162 out of 199. Jackson Churio Unleashed. Kellen Lindsey for the Dodgers on the foil. Dylan Cruz. There's Mike Sirota for the Dodgers. Robinson Cano again on the Elite Series for the Yankees. That's Sean Gamble for Kansas City. Satchel Paige. Dave Winfield, that's green Optichrome, 9 out of 149. Spencer Jones, Bomb Squad. Ken Griffey Sr. going to Cincinnati. Our next auto, that is Ethan Holiday for Colorado. Ethan Holiday for Colorado on the rated prospect Optichrome auto. Sung Min Moon Sung and Josh Hammond. There's Dylan Cruz. Mario Gillen for Tampa Bay. Red, 164 to 250. Tomoyuki Sagano. Brady Ebel for Milwaukee. 45 out of 149. Jesus Made. That is box number 6. Box number 7. Chase Burns on the blue foil. That is 98 of 149. That is Manny Ramirez, 88 out of 99. 88 of 99 on the game-used bat. Marcelo Mayer, Roman Anthony, Optichrome. That is Jacob Wilson, 9 out of 25 on the Unleashed. 9 out of 25 Purple Unleashed. Nice hit for the A's. There's Bryce Eldridge on the foil. Greetings from Chicago. This is the White Sox, and that is Billy Carlson. There's Enrique Bradfield Jr., Frank Chance. That is Paul Skeens, 92 of 199 on the Crunch Time. 92 of 199. That is Jamie Arnold for Oakland on the purple, 50 of 149. Elston Howard, coaching Shane for the Dodgers. There's Bobby Witt Jr., Crunch Time. Alex Lodosi for Atlanta. That is 56 of 99. On the Pandora auto, George Lombard Jr. for the Yankees. Pandora auto. That is 1 out of 25. 1 out of 25, George Lombard Jr. Going to the Yankees. Chandler Simpson, A.J. Russell, Charlie Condon. David Ortiz. That's 250 out of 250. And we got for the Giants on the acetate, Gavin Killen. Gavin Killen for the Giants. Johnny Bench Chrome Optichrome. Tommy White for Oakland. That is 19 out of 149 on the green Optichrome. That's Peyton Tolley on the Elite Series. There's Colson Montgomery. This looks gold. That looks like a gold auto of Braden Montgomery for the Chicago White Sox. Braden Montgomery, 4 out of 10 gold auto. Nice. Nice, good young prospect there. And then there's the other Montgomery for the White Sox, Colson. There's Colt Emerson. That is a gold bomb squad of Miggy. Miguel Cabrera. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Miguel Cabrera for Detroit. George Lombard Jr. on the prospect. Downtown. Dual downtown. Marcelo Mayer and Roman Anthony going to the Red Sox. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a Yankee fan, but that is a sick card. Sick, sick card. Congrats to the Red Sox. Jose Canseco. And then there's a Marcelo Mayer blue ice. Blue cracked ice. 10 out of 15. 10 out of 15. My goodness. Definitely what a box. There's Jacob Mizorowski. Boston. What do they call that? Munch a bunch of. David Ortiz. Next auto going to Baltimore. That is Wahawa Aloy. Wahawa Aloy for Baltimore. Optichrome auto, not numbered. Hagen Smith, Byung-Hyun Kim, Bubba Chandler. Tyler Bremner, that's red for the Angels, 7 out of 250. Pie Trainer for the Pirates. We got Ava Arquette for Miami. That is 54 out of 199. Nick Kurtz on the Elite Series. There's Bubba Chandler. There's Bryce Rainier, Tony Perez, Aaron Judge on the green bomb squad. There's Mike Schmidt. Nick Kurtz on the green color match. 50 out of 149. Josh Hamilton. Last pack of box 7. That's Raniel Rodriguez. Cam Caminiti. Bryce Matthews. Aaron Judge Diamond Marvels. Box number 8. Alright, box number 8. Coaching Shane for the Dodgers. Elston Howard. Cam Caminetti. That is Treyus Savage. Hideki Matsua in the green foil, 57 of 199. Our patch is Connor Griffin. Prospect Jersey King for the Pirates. Connor Griffin. Not numbered. Frank Chance, Jimmy Fox. That is Charlie Condon on the Unleashed. That is 88 out of 99. 88 of 99. There's Josh Gibson on the foil. Marcelo Mayer, Bryce Rainier. There's Bryce Eldridge. Zaire Hope for the Dodgers. That's purple, 45 out of 99. Bryce Matthews. There's Cam Cannarella for Miami. Nick Kurtz Unleashed. Luis Angel Acuna. That's going to the Chicago. Where did he get traded to? White Sox or Cubs? I can't remember. I think it's Cubs. Pandora Auto of Caleb Bonmer. Caleb Bonmer on the Chicago White Sox. 22 out of 25. 22 of 25. We got Mike Schmidt. Hagen Smith. There's Deion Sanders for Cincinnati. Don Mattingly for the Yankees on the red. 200 out of 250. That is Gavin Killen again on the acetate for the Giants. Deion Sanders for Cincinnati. Jonathan Santucci for the Mets. 82 of 199. Cam Schlittler for the Yankees. Crunch time. Luis Angel Acuna on the foil. Randy Johnson, Colt Emerson, both Seattle. There's Albert Pujols. Raniel Rodriguez. We got Pudge for Texas. That's Cal Ripken, 176 out of 199. Cade Horton for the Cubs. Bobby Witt Jr. Franklin Arias for the Red Sox. Prospect Gold Auto to 10. 7 out of 10 for the Boston Red Sox, who just keep eating in this break. Wow. Bubba Chandler, AJ Russell, Luke Keyshaw. Hagen Smith for the White Sox. That is 165 out of 199. Bryce Eldridge, Mike Sirota for the Dodgers. That is 71 of 99. Young Hyun Kim should be for the Diamondbacks. Yep. Mike Sirota was 71 of 99. Not sure if I looked. Ken Griffey Sr. Coming attraction, Leo DeVries for Oakland. Colston Montgomery, Marinke Bradfield. Last pack. Raniel Rodriguez. Chandler Simpson. That's Paul Skeens, 18 out of 199. 18 out of 199. Bryce Eldridge. Alright. Box number 9. Alright, here we go. Box number 9. Vladimir Guerrero for the Angels. That is 60 out of 250. And that is on the acetate, Leo DeVries for Oakland. Leo DeVries. It's alright. I'm sure I know it is. Trust me. Jose Canseco. That's Luis Pena for Milwaukee. 8 out of 199. Nolan Ryan on the green Sunburst Diamond Marvels. Going to Texas. Okay. There's Yogi Berra. Roberto Alomar. There's Cruz Schoolcraft for the Padres. Darryl Strawberry. That is a artist proof short print of Josur Gonzalez going to the Giants. Artist proof short print, Josur Gonzalez. That is 25 out of 25. 25 of 25. That is Jersey King, 3 colors, Rhett Lauder for the Cincinnati Reds. Rhett Lauder, 10 out of 25, 3-color patch. That's a sick hit. Hideki Matsui, Byung-Hyun Kim. That is Byung-Hyun Kim, 33 of 99 on the Elite Series for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Luis Angel Acuna. First auto of the box is, second auto. Cole Miller. No, it's first auto. Cole Miller for Oakland, Signature Series. That one is not numbered. Christian Campbell. Mike Irish for Baltimore, Eli Willits. Dylan Cruz. Diamond Kings, there's Jacob Wilson for Oakland. Rhett Lauder, Ava Arquette. There's Durangelo Cinchte, 40 out of 199. That does go to Seattle, even though he's now with St. Louis. Barry Larkin, Riley Quick, Paul Skeens, Crunch Time. Bo Jackson on the foil. Trevor Hoffman. There's Charles Davalon. There's Cade Horton on the green, crunch time. Luke Dickerson for Washington on the Sunburst. There's Jackson Churio. Christian Moore for the Angels. 8 out of 49. There's Deion Sanders, Diamond Marbles. There's Dax Kilby for the Yankees. Cade Horton, Arjun Namala, Reggie Jackson going to Oakland. There's Blake Mitchell for Kansas City. Is that a black laser? Yes, it is. That's Will Clark. That's Frank Chance. Frank Chance. 30 out of 39. 30 out of 39. Nick Kurtz. It's going to the Cubs. Yeah, I believe it's the Cubs. Again, I have the checklist inside. Bobby Witt Jr. Andrew Fisher on-card auto for Milwaukee. Next day autographs. Andrew Fisher. These are not numbered. Ozzie Smith. There's Gage Jump. Dion. Casey Cunningham for Arizona, 51 of 149. Roger Clemens, Dax Kilby for the Yankees, 194 out of 199. Aaron Judge. Box number 10. Gil Hodges for Brooklyn Dodgers. First auto, that is Drew Hackenberg. Drew Hackenberg for the Atlanta Braves, 57 out of 75. 57 of 75. Drew Hackenberg. Josh Gibson. Tommy White, Trey Savage. Paul Skeens on the green foil. That is 183 out of 199. Kyson Witherspoon for Boston on the acetate. Ty Trainer going to Pittsburgh. There's Cam Cannarella, 81 out of 149. Bryce Eldridge. Chase Young. Nolan Ryan. There's Marcus Phillips. That is 9 out of 99. Jesus Made for the Milwaukee Brewers. Jesus Made, crunch time for Milwaukee. Jacob Wilson, blue for the A's, 123 out of 149. That is a two-color patch of Zaire Hope. Zaire Hope, two-color patch for the Dodgers. This one is a 1 of 1. 1 of 1, guys, right there. One of 1 Zaire Hope patch. Bobby Witt. Tony Perez. There is Bubba Chandler, 71 out of 199. Dodgers are having themselves a nice little break. Tomoyuki Sugano. Luis Angel Acuna, Vance Honeycutt. Young Hyun Kim. There's Seth Hernandez for Pittsburgh. 226 out of 250. Ethan Conrad for the Cubs. There's Bryce Eldridge again. Sun Moon Song. King Felix. Ethan Petrie. That is Kazuma Okamoto on the green border Sunburst Elite Series for Toronto. Bubba Chandler. That is 10 out of 25. 10 out of 25 on the Aqua. Gil Hodges. There's Zaire Hope for the Dodgers. 22 of 199. Luke Kershaw. There's There's Eli Willits for Washington. Coming attraction, Jesus Made for Milwaukee. Jacob Wilson, 52 of 199. Franklin Arias. Joe Parker for Toronto. Reggie Jackson. There's Randy Johnson for Seattle. 38 of 99. Bobby Witt Jr. Elite Series. There's King Felix Hernandez, Sunburst. That is Mr. Anderson, Cade Anderson for Seattle on the rated prospect auto. 44 out of 99. Hai Song Kim, Carson Benj, Albert Pujols. There's Connor Griffin, green foil, 108 of 199. Aaron Judge. You guys your hope on the green, 79 of 149. Cade Horton. Alright, box number 11. It's okay. Found another artist proof card, guys. This is numbered 16 of 25 for the Cubs. That is Matt Shaw. Another artist proof. Who's the duo downtown? It's Roman Anthony and Marcelo Mayer for the Red Sox. We got Daniel Pierce. That is 185 out of 250. 185 out of 250. Jose Canseco. Braden Montgomery. 70 of 99. Paul Skeens Crunch Time. Will Clark. Dwight Gooden. Gavin Killen. There's Bubba Chandler on the green foil. Diamond Kings. Or Diamond Marvels, excuse me. There's Marcelo Mayer, 120 out of 199. Johnny Farmello, that is 24 out of 49. Eli Willits. Nolan Ryan. Tony Perez, Braden Montgomery, Aaron Judge, crunch time. Eduardo Tate for Minnesota. Pie Trainer, 119 out of 149. Chase DeLauder, Cleveland. Deion Sanders. Ken Griffey Sr. That is Chase Dolander, 11 out of 25 on the auto. Signature Series auto, 11 out of 25. Nice hit for Colorado. Reggie Jackson. Josue Paula for the Dodgers, 131 of 199. Xavier Nayans, Houston, Spencer Jones. Josh Gibson. There's Braden Taylor, 24 out of 25 on the Signature Series for the Tampa Bay Rays. 24 of 25. Trey Savage, Travis Bazzana. There's Dylan Cruz on the Diamond Marvels. There's Kazuma Okamoto for the Toronto Blue Jays, 217 out of 250. There's Chase Shores. Chase Shores for the Angels. That's on the acetate. David Ortiz. And Luke Dickerson on the cracked ice. That is 8 out of 25 for Washington. Jesus Made. There's Cam Cannarella. Greetings from the Chicago White Sox again. Greetings from Chicago. This time it's Braden Montgomery. Braden Montgomery. Matt Shaw, Chase Shores. That is James Wood on the green foil 199 out of 199. Our patch is Tatsuya Imai. Tatsuya Imai. That is 68 out of 99 for the guy who just threw a perfect game for Houston. Congrats to the Houston Astros spot. Jacob Wilson, Robin Yount. There's Aaron Judge. 21 of 199. Ozzie Smith, Josh Hamilton, James Tibbs. There's Darryl Strawberry. And that is the end of box number 11. Box number 11. We got one box to go. Do I have enough top loaders? That's the question. Nah, I'm kidding, guys. I have plenty. Last box, guys. Good luck. Here we go. We'll get a recap after this. Riley Quick. Don't forget, we're also running this back on Thursday. Satchel Paige, Luke Dickerson. There's Aaron Judge Elite Series. Same bat time, same bat channel. 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. Spots are already in the store. David Ortiz, 159 of 250. Our last patch, well, maybe not our last patch, but our first patch of this last box, which may be the last patch of the break. That's a Jersey King of Bryce Eldridge going to the San Francisco Giants. Sung Moon Song. Jimmy Crooks, and that is Jonah Tong, 15 out of 15. 15 out of 15 on the Marvels. Mets have had a solid break too. BMW. The Mets have had one of those sneaky quiet mid breaks. Aaron Judge, Tomoyuki Sugano, Gavin Fine. There's Nick Kurtz. There's Slater DeBrun for Baltimore. Slater DeBrun, 157 out of 199. Jace Young. Xavier Nayans for Houston. There's Paul Skeens on the Diamond Marbles. There's Aaron Judge on the Sunburst. There's Johnny Farmello for Seattle on the Chrome Auto. Bo Jackson, Johnny Farmello. There's Dick Allen. Roberto Alomar, blue. 32 out of 149. Our acetate. That is Braden Montgomery for the White Sox. Braden Montgomery for the White Sox. David Wright. Connor Griffin, that is 94 of 99. Jackson Churio on the Bomb Squad. Green foil. Short print. Last 5 packs. We should have at least one more auto or patch. One more auto or patch. That's Reggie Jackson for the Yankees. Greetings from Milwaukee, Jacob Mizorowski. Cade Horton, Luis Pena. That's Ethan Conrad for the Cubs. Hideki Matsui. James Wood, 48 of 49. Connor Griffin. Song Kim. 2 out of 49. Nice one for the Reds. Chase Burns. Chase Burns, 2 out of 49 for the Cincinnati Reds. Very nice. Brett Lauder, Daniel Pierce, Connor Griffin. There's Wandy Assign, 11 out of 149 for the Mets. Barry Larkin, Steel Hall for Cincinnati. That is 176 out of 199. Ken Griffey Jr. Bomb Squad. Last 2 packs, and we'll do our recap. Hi Song Kim. Jesus Made, there's Jonah Tong. And our last pack, here we go. Kalen Culpepper from Minnesota. Roberto Alomar. That's Jackson Churio, 9 out of 199. Colt Emerson. And that is your break, you guys. Not bad. Not a bad break at all. Forward. There we go. Alright guys, here we go. Let's start our recap. Our Optichromes. I'm going to run through them. I won't say the names. Well, I'll say the names. Screw it. David Wright, Xavier Nayans, Jimmy Crooks, Robin Yount, David Ortiz, Nayans, Conrad. There's Tony Perez, Pi Trainer, Riley Quick, Young Kim, Jose Canseco, Deion Sanders, Cam Canarella, Jimmy Fox, Johnny Bench, Coaching Shane, Roman Anthony, Caden Bodine, Dwight Gooden, Matt Shaw, Mike Piazza, Alex Ladosi, Kevin Youkilis. There's Sammy Sosa, Andrew Painter, Nick Kurtz, Jace Lavalette, Blake Mitchell, Jimmy Fox, Dylan Cruz, Cam Canarella, Jonah Tong, Tatsuya Imai, Dick Allen, and Darryl Strawberry. Our green foils, that is Jonah Tong, Jackson Churio, Bubba Chandler, Kazumi Okimoto, Cade Horton, Nolan Ryan, Cam Schlittler, Aaron Judge, Nick Kurtz, Jonah Tong, Sammy Sosa, Jacob Mizorowski, Aaron Judge, Nick Kurtz, Bubba Chandler, Jackson Churio, Bryce Eldridge again, and Josh Hamilton. Alright, our numbered cards. These are to 250. We got David Ortiz, Okamoto, Daniel Pierce, Seth Hernandez, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Don Mattingly, Tyler Bremner, David Ortiz, Theo Gillum, Cam Canarella, Aiden Miller, Kellen Lindsey, Christian Campbell, Ethan Conrad, Trevor Hoffman, Michael Young. To 199, Jackson Churio, Hideki Matsui, Roman Anthony, Billy Carlson, Deion Sanders, Dick Allen, Johnny Formello, Mitch Voigt, Jonah Tong, Ricky Henderson, Liam Doyle, Roman Anthony, Braden Montgomery, Jonah Tong, Cal Ripken, Mike Piazza, David Wright, Colt Keith, Xavier Nayans, Jose Canseco, Steele Hall, Slater DeBron, James Wood, Aaron Judge, Josue Paula, Marcelo Mayer, Connor Griffin, Jacob Wilson, Zaire Hope, Bubba Chandler, Paul Skeens, Dax Kilby, Gerangelo Cinchte, Luis Pena, Paul Skeens, Hagen Smith, Cal Ripken, Jonathan Santucci, Hideki Matsui, Ava Arquette, and Paul Skeens. To 149, Wandy Assign, Roberto Alomar, Chase DeLauder, Zaire Hope, Jacob Wilson, Cam Canarella, Kasem Cunningham, Nick Kurtz, Tommy White, Jamie Arnold, Chase Burns, Brady Ebel, Dave Winfield, Cam Canarella, Albert Pujols, Josue De Paula, Roberto Alomar, Pi Trainer, Justin Crawford, Aaron Judge, Elston Howard, Roberto Alomar, Carson Benj, Hideki Matsui, Brendan Summerhill, and Jace Lavalette. $10.99. You got Connor Griffin, Braden Montgomery, Randy Johnson, Jesus Made, Young Kim, Mike Sirota, Zaire Hope, Charlie Condon, Alex Ladosi, Tony Lazzari, Travis Bazana, Cam Canarella, Don Mattingly, Justin Crawford, and Bo Jackson. To 79, Spencer Jones, Aaron Judge, Cam Caminetti, and Jacob Mizorowski. These are to 49, James Wood, Johnny Farmello, Christian Moore, Tyler Bremner, and Bobby Witt Jr. This is 1 to 37, Frank Chance on the 39, Black Lasers. To 25, Luke Dickerson, Artist Proof Matt Shaw, Bubba Chandler, Artist Proof Josur Gonzalez, Jacob Wilson, JoJo Parker, and Nick Kurtz. To 15, Jonah Tong, and Marcelo Mayer. To 10, we got Miguel Cabrera, Josue De Paula, Bobby Witt Jr. Our short print inserts. We got Jacob Mizorowski, Braden Montgomery. That is Jesus Made, Jacob Wilson, Leo DeVries. There's Billy Carlson, Ken Griffey Jr. There's Seth Hernandez, JoJo Parker, Colt Emerson, Kellen Lindsey, Braden Montgomery, Chase Shores, Kyson Witherspoon, Leo DeVries, Gavin Killen again, Tate Susene, Travis Bazana, James Tibbs, and Billy Carlson. We had an unnumbered Pandora Black of Seaver King for Washington. Our patches, these are not numbered. We got Bryce Eldridge, Connor Griffin, Peyton Coley, Aiden Miller, Roberto Alomar, Gavin Killen, and Braden Montgomery. Our numbered patches, Tatsuya Imai for Houston, 68 of 99. Manny Ramirez, 88 of 99 for Boston. Adam Dunn, 12 of 49 for Cincinnati. And for Cincinnati again, Rhett Lauder. This one is numbered 10 out of 25 on the 3-color patch. Our autos not numbered. We got Johnny Farmello, Andrew Fisher, Cole Miller, Weawa Aloy, Ethan Holiday, Gavin Killen, Blake Mitchell, Steele Hall, Luke Stevenson, Paul Skeens, and Jarlin Susana. Our numbered autos, here we go. To 99, Cade Anderson, Colin Hawk, Cam Smith. To 75, Drew Hackenberg, Jefferson Rojas, Cobb Hightower, Trey Snyder. This is James Tibbs to 49 for the Dodgers. Chase Burns to 49. George Lombard on the Pandora Auto to 25, as well as Caleb Bonmer. To 25, Braden Taylor and Chase Dolander. To 10, Braden Montgomery, Franklin Arias. Our patch, 1 of 1, Zaire Hope for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But our hit of the break for sure, dual downtown, going to the Red Sox. That is Roman Anthony and Marcelo Mayer. Congrats to the Red Sox spot. Thank you all for being part of the break. Appreciate you. Hope to see you on Thursday when we do our next case of this stuff. Have yourself a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace!